Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Week Ahead, brought to you by MarCommEd. I'm Zach Grimes, and I'm joined by my co-host again today, Ryan Green. How are you, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm good, Zach. Ruby's come and join me. I feel like Ernest Blofeld, the kind of Spectre James Bond bad guy now, because she's not interested in being part of this or anything else apart from when I'm doing these live streams. So she absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
And I've also this week made sure, because I noticed on our MCE Engage platform, when I was posting out, like I needed a beard trim, I needed a haircut. So I made sure that I was well prepared for this week, especially as we have Jade from Canva with us.
Yes, a very special guest today, and one I'm sure lots of people already know in terms of Canva and Jade and the role she does. But I won't steal her thunder. Jade, do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, hello everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me to be a guest. So my name is Jade Parkinson-Hill and I am the UK Education Community Manager for Canva. So I work with educators and education professionals like yourself to make sure that we get Canva for education in as many schools as we can, and we really help to kind of supercharge creativity in the classroom.
Oh, well, you're doing a grand job of it. I mean, I think the network alone, they from what Ryan and I are involved with, really receptive of that. And it really is refreshing to see how Canva are making a lot of the tools from a marketing and comms perspective in particular more accessible across the sector. And the fact that it's free is just unbelievable. But I know, classroom practitioners and teachers are really embracing it as well. So, yeah, it's a real privilege to have you here today. So thank you for your time, because I know how busy you are. On that note, what does your week ahead look like?
So my week is busy as always at Canva. There's a lot going on. We seem to be kind of going into an event season. So next week I will be attending the Brilliant Festival in Liverpool, where I'll be doing one of their keynote workshops. So I'm really excited about that, because that's the first time we'll have an EdTech focused event here in the Northwest. So if you haven't registered, make sure you do. It's going to be really great. And then the rest of the week will be really focused on planning and continue to promote our next event at the Canva London campus. It's 100% exclusive for educators. It's called Canva Connect on the 28th of October. So yes, we'll be preparing all of our workshops for that, really. It's going to be really, really exciting. You've both been to one of our events before,
Yep.
So you know how good they are. But yeah, it's going to be great. So we're going to go over all of the latest, the new features, our creativity and education report, and we'll also have the team from Affinity there as well.
Yeah, so that's been a big thing, hasn't it? Obviously, Affinity is now being acquired by Canva, and that's kind of following the education suit. But can you just, obviously, for people watching this today, you mentioned about the Canva creativity report. Can you just kind of give us a bit more detail on that and what's included in that report?
Yeah, it's a great report. I think we're going to drop a link below this stream. But basically, the report covers how important it is really for young people, our students, to develop their creativity skills. First of all, from an employability sector, because we know that that's one of the key skills that employers are looking for when they recruit young people. So it's really crucial that we have that as a core part of our curriculum, particularly as we see kind of the increasing dominance of AI tools. We want students really to develop their critical thinking skills and their visual communication skills, both of which they can do on Canva. So the report focuses first half on that, on kind of the employability element of creativity. But the rest of the report looks at how Canva is really supercharging creativity in the classroom in terms of, helping teachers to create engaging resources, helping students to showcase their learning, creatively. Instead of writing a 1,000-word essay, they can create, a presentation. They can include video of themselves talking about the learning. They can create podcasts. It's just such a great platform for students to develop those, creativity and visual communication skills. And the other elements of it that I really like, it kind of showcases how, we have on the Canva for Education platform, we've got templates for early years educators, for primary schools, for secondary schools, but then we've also launched some tools as well for which is called on the Canva for Campus platform, for higher ed students. So we really can kind of like work with students from very young age right up to when they're preparing to get ready for graduate jobs.
I mean, it's interesting. I remember listening to Matt Jordan talk, and he was saying that like kind of expectations of employers were. And I think it was in excess of like 90% expected, like 90% of their staff to be able to almost do graphic design, to be able to make presentations, do all of this stuff. So it's a must-have skill now, isn't it? It really is.
Totally. And my background is in schools, but I've also run an education business and then been part of the ed tech sector as well. And from what I could, I used Canva every day in that education business, and my team used it. And then when I've worked for bigger companies, you see even more the need to be able to empower as many people in your organization to create designs that are on brand.
Yeah.
So for me, this being able to use a tool like Canva is going to be a must-have skill for young people.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. And just to add in there, like from the Loris Trust where I work, it's been so efficient to allow us to scale up our content for social media, particularly across our sixth forms. Was it 2 years ago when we opened 3 new sixth forms? A lot of that marketing work was done centrally by me and my team. I mean, I'm blessed to have a team of the size I do, and the skills we have. But it's just not been sustainable for us to maintain that control. But actually using Canva, and because people are familiar with it, and not to downplay it, but if you've got a very low skill level in design or creating social media content, it's still accessible. But then it does have the real power to drive people to a higher level if they wish to. And but I think it's been absolutely game changing. I know, Kevin, who we've had on previously, works for Cramner Trust. He's a huge advocate in rolling it out across his organisation, as are many others. But it's great to see that level of scale that it can create just on the business and the marketing side of the organisation. And from a teaching perspective, I'm sure that's making huge impacts on teacher workloads as well. From what you're saying, are you seeing that across the board?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously my role is to kind of engage with the community and make sure that everybody knows the new product features, and also that we're listening to how Canva is being used in the classroom. So I had a Zoom chat recently with one of our with a college who's a huge advocate of Canva, and the feedback I got from that college was that Canva had given teachers back their evenings because it makes it so quick to create those lesson resources, either by using our templates as a starting point or using maybe our magic AI tools to get the lesson plan done, presentation tools, set up student resources. It's all there for you. So we get great feedback. And what I also love as part of my role is hearing stories from teachers about how students are using Canva, how they start off maybe using it in one class, in one subject area, and then suddenly they're using it in all the subject areas, and they're using it at home as well. So it's just so easy to use. It's so intuitive. It's really easy to roll out into the classroom.
Yeah. So I was just distracted there. A friend of mine, he's not actually in education, but he just texted me. He's watching on LinkedIn, and he's just said, "I've seen you pop up, so I tuned in while I was having a sandwich." But he said, "I've just had a look at this Canva." He said, "I didn't even know it existed, but I'm gonna roll it out in my business now."
There you go.
Already having a huge impact.
That's it. Jade's mic drop. Yeah. Like.
You're changing the world, Jade. One show at a time. No, I mean, again, like just to emphasize, it's got so much versatility. I mean, I can go deep on like Instagram or TikTok on these Canva hacks. 10 things you need to know about Canva, and like I've shared one with some of the team this morning around like how you can create a flip book from a document with literally just one click, through an API integration. And it's just mind blowing where it's going. But obviously, you've talked about a lot about what's going on at the minute. In the report, which we'll share details of, justifies a lot of the impact that's already had. But where's Canva for Education in particular going over the next 12 months? You mentioned Affinity. How will that roll out?
So we launched the Affinity to Educators globally in September. I'm really excited to see how our UK schools start to onboard with Affinity, how they start to use it, because whereas Canva's mission has always been to empower the world to design and to take those people who are non-designers and give them the tools to be able to design something themselves, Affinity caters to people who, maybe have more advanced design skills and perhaps, are looking for a tool that they can use alongside Canva in GCSE, graphic design technology, and then with Key Stage 4 as well. So I'm really excited to see how that all rolls out, because I think it's, an awesome tool for schools to add to their Canva toolkit. We'll be covering I know because we've launched it and everyone's got really excited about it, which is amazing. But we'll be covering at our Canva Connect event. The Affinity team will be there. So for those people who perhaps are really keen over the next few weeks to get an in-depth look at the product and, learn some of those tips and tricks, best thing to do is to come along to our event on 28th of October.
Fantastic. Just on Affinity though, just for those watching who, if they've never heard of it before, what does it particularly do, and what added value will it bring to Canva?
Yeah, so like I said before, it's a tool for that professional artists, professional designers, graphic designers use every day as part of their work. So it's a different set of tools to Canva because it caters more to that kind of like professional designer use case. But yeah, it's a great tool, and I think for educators. So for people like yourselves who perhaps working in the education professionals specialising in marketing, you've got a tool where maybe you're going to produce more complex prospectuses, newsletters, and then for your students, you're going to be able to use it in things like GCSE, graphic design, BTEC games design. It's used by games designers as well. So just a different kind of use case to Canva.
I mean, yeah, it sounds fantastic. I mean, I've not had a chance to put it to test yet. I'm not a graphic designer, but I will at some point have a go at it because I can see the benefits and features. And to be honest, from a cost perspective as well, I think if it's free, that's going to save a lot of schools and trusts a lot of money.
Yeah, it's 100. Yeah,
GCSE purposes, I think that will certainly grasp attention, because I know that's all. In the past when it's been spoken about, that has been why schools use other products, because it's they've got a specification to meet to support students. So if Affinity can provide that service, then I think it's going to provide a lot of value and also save a lot of cost as well. In that sense.
Yeah, 100%. And Canva is really committed to providing our products 100% free to education. And in fact, I think it was about a month ago, we hit a huge milestone where we've actually shipped $1 billion worth of product free of charge to education organisations and not-for-profit charities. So adding Affinity into that toolkit is just going to be really exciting for both of those communities.
That's amazing. It really is. Yeah. Superb. Any final questions from you, Ryan?
Well, just, what's coming down the line? What can we get a sneak peek of? We've talked about these events. We've talked about, Affinity. Is there anything else you could let us into, for our community?
It's all top secret, Ryan.
I feel like I just want to know more. I'm like,
good try, though. Yes, no. Come to our events. We've got some schedules for October and November, and all will be revealed at those events.
And it's okay for us to say as well, Jade, isn't it, that we're looking at doing a MarCommEd Canva event again, as we did earlier this year.
Yes.
We're in the pipeline, and dates will be released soon for that. So
yes.
If you are interested, join MCE Engage via the membership page on the website, and more will be released in due course. But it's been a great insight again, just to understand, where Canva are going and what's going out there. I'm looking forward to reading this report. As we said, we'll share it in the show notes and across the channels, because I'm sure a lot of people will take a lot of interest to reading that as well. Particularly, the stuff you mentioned around the employability skills, for me, I think is key. I've recently employed an apprentice in my team, and she's really adopted into using Canva, and you can see how it's influencing the sector in a new wave and new skill demand. So I think that's only going to continue to grow. So I think it's good that it's already taking that kind of strategic focal point in education as well. But it's been a really great conversation, a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks,
I'm sure there'll be a lot of interest in at the end of October event in London. Again, we can share the details about that if you wish to send them on. We'll share them out across the platform. But just a big thank you, Jade, and thank you, Ryan. Where can people find you, Jade?
Best place is either LinkedIn, just search for my name, Jade Parkinson-Hill, or on x.com at Jade Canva Edu. And I'm also on Instagram there as well. We do also have a Facebook community for UK educators. So this is open to everybody, not just teachers. If you work in the UK education sector and you want to learn more about Canva, come and join us. We are Facebook. If you search on Facebook for Canva Education UK, you can find us there.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Well, thank you both, and thank you everyone for watching. It's been a great show. I'm sure we'll have you on again at some point.